It's finally here, the final episode of the Summer of Surrender, because summer is coming to a close, and hopefully, please Lord, fall is around the corner. Cool weather, cardigans, happy things, because I'm just ready for cozy stuff.
We could use some happy things.
We could use some happy things.
It's time for happy things.
The last time we sat down and recorded, it was August. So now that we're batch recording these next couple episodes, it is September. And we have been working so hard on the cycle of surrender.
Yeah.
We'll get into that next episode. We might touch on it a little bit this episode as well. But today we're talking about surrendering your success. There's an earthly definition of success, and there is a heavenly definition of success. So we're going to talk about those two different things, talk about how we view success and how God might be calling us to step into surrender and transform our thinking on this subject.
We invite you
to the Summer of Surrender. It is the final countdown. It's the final episode. I'm not saying I've been excited for this because I've enjoyed doing this series.
Yeah.
It's been a good time. We've been surrendering its success this whole time.
Yeah.
But it's been cool to see which things really drew your guys' eyes, which episodes have the most views, because, I mean, I wasn't completely surprised, but some of them I was like, wow, this one just really hit people.
Mm-hmm.
And so that will help us decide.
Yeah. Where we go
future
from here.
resources, maybe.
Yep.
So, yeah, we have been hard at work for at least the past 3-ish weeks, if not more, on the cycle of surrender.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you are going to want to watch the next episode, listen to the next episode, because we're going to talk all about it, all the details, everything we know now, everything that we don't know, and which is a lot still.
You'll know what we know.
Exactly. And we'll keep you updated.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about all that kind of stuff. And honestly, it has been a big effort to surrender its success, because we have our own images of what it's like to create something and to get it ready for public consumption, or at least semi-public consumption. And honestly, up till this point, we haven't created something this big and this pivotal to what we do. So its success is obviously completely dependent upon God and you guys to help us get feedback, to give it a try, to bring it to your communities, etc., etc. So, oh my gosh, when it comes to success, I think we think of metrics.
Yeah.
We think of numbers. We think, okay, our profit increased X amount this year, or success is like we hit this milestone in our family, we got organized, or success is like graduating college with your degree or going for a master's and then getting a coveted position or a position that you were dying to get. And that is a worldly sense of success, because success is really just about actively doing what God has asked you to do. And that in itself is successful, and it's a lot less pressure.
Yeah. So we've had a lot of ups and downs with, Jill mentioned my kids' schools, specifically my oldest daughter, because we've had quite the roller coaster ride in regards to our schooling experience. And I have learned that what is successful for my daughter is not necessarily what I think is successful. If she has a great day and she was able to focus in math, that is a win.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had to learn to separate what my expectations from what she is capable of doing.
Mm-hmm.
And and that has looked different for me, because I would love for us to be in a Catholic school, and right now we're not. But she's thriving. So that is success.
Right. Well, and even something you hit on there that, like, you didn't name but was very important is that understanding of each individual's unique dignity and their unique identity. that some of us are gifted at school, some of us are gifted at street smarts, some of us are gifted creatively, and there's a combination of these things. It's not limited to categories. But we all have strengths and gifts that God has given us. A soapbox we've stood on many a time, that it's our job to use our gifts and to be who God called us to be, and that is it. So success is really about seeking God's heart and doing what he asks you to do, and obviously discerning that it's good, true, and beautiful, discerning that that's God's voice and not your human tendencies speaking, because I know that, like, I have a tendency to look in the mirror and go, ew, right? That's not God. I should do something about that. I need to eat this way. I need to work out this way. I need to do this thing. That's not going to lead me to success. Being responsive, I do. Being responsive to God is what's going to lead me to success. He's been teaching me moderation lately, which is funny. So, for those of you who don't know, I guess I'm going to announce this because it's part of the...
Are you serious?
Well, it's part of the story, and so it's kind of part of success. For those of you who don't know, I'm expecting. Yay! I'm expecting my third baby with my husband. And I firmly believe with every child that even from the beginning of their life in the womb, they're sanctifying you. Because they are unique. God gives you them for a reason, and he teaches you lessons through having them. And so this one has been moderation, and it has been letting go of control. And in order to be successful, you have to let go of control, because your control will not make you successful. It's actually going to isolate you from others. It's going to keep you from seeing their gifts and talents and embracing the beauty that God has put in everybody. And it's also going to keep you from allowing the people in that you need to work with the most, because you're so worried about doing it your way that there's no room for learning or error or collaboration. But with me, it's control in everyday life. And I've learned a lot about contentment and being content in every moment. That doesn't go my way, that doesn't fit my schedule, that doesn't hit the routine. And something else he's been showing me moderation in is eating, because I went from like gluttony to scrupulosity, and I just wrote a Substack on it. So if you're on our email list, you probably got that. And if you're not, you should hop on the email list, because only email list people will be getting a sneak peek of a chunk of the Cycle of Surrender in their inbox next week, from when this comes out next week. But part of that was, he was like, look, you can't live your life never touching a Pop-Tart again, or something. Like, that's unreasonable. Obviously, Pop-Tarts are useless for your system, but they taste good, right? It's one of those things. And so my tendency would be like, oh, I never need to eat anything but like meat and vegetables and fruits again, and I'll be fine. Life will be good, and I will be
crabby.
great. Honestly, no, my body, I just lost my appetite with this pregnancy. Completely lost it. And so when something came up to eat, I had to die to the control of wanting to eat only certain things. I had to die to the fact that it wasn't, going to be perfectly balanced or whatever. And I just had to accept that whatever was coming up was something, and like my ability to eat portions was just like annihilated. So I could only eat small things without feeling overwhelmed by food, which was very hard on my body, because I was eating lots of food and weight training and doing stuff before pregnancy. And so God was like, too bad, sucks for you. This is not what we're doing this time. That's not really that's how it felt to me, I guess I should say. Yeah. He was like, look, you need to learn that life is not about only eating the perfect foods to feed your body. It's about what I tell you to do. And I'm sovereign over you, and I'm sovereign over this child's life. And I had to tell myself that. And I had friends remind me, they knew women who were sick their entire pregnancies, could hardly keep food down, and their babies turned out fine. Not eating the perfect amount of food, right? Or the perfect types of food. That some people just only could handle certain things or whatever. And God is still sovereign over the child that's growing in the womb. So also the cool kind of miracle, I don't know if this will stay or not, but throughout this first trimester, when this has been happening, the Lord has reprieved me of the headaches that come with gluten.
Okay.
So if I want a Pop-Tart and I eat half of it, again, moderation, following what he's asking me, I don't get a headache where I would have before. And again, he's just, my husband also said something about, it's like, so which baby is going to heal you of this gluten intolerance or this gluten sensitivity? And I was like, haha, because I really only started to feel it after giving birth to my second child. That's kind of when it came on. And so this time around, he's giving me a reprieve from it because he's reminding me that it's okay to not control the outcomes, like we talked about last time, and to just give the success to the Lord. Because like you said, success isn't our image. Success is recognizing God's achievements within a certain circumstance.
He pulled an Uno reverse on you.
He did.
I like it.
It was weird, and I was like, this is gonna hurt. And he was like, you're gonna be fine.
Just trust me.
Just trust me. Take the lead.
Eat the Pop-Tart!
Eat the Pop-Tart! Yes, and it's funny because I'm 13 weeks now, and I haven't gained a single pound.
Wow.
I don't know how this moderation situation has happened, because, one of my fears and struggles around food is like a huge fluctuation or, hitting a point that's too unhealthy on either end of the spectrum that I can't do my job.
Yeah.
But it's like I operate from that fear instead of operating from trusting God. And so my success is going to be determined by following what he says, i.e. these really weird miracles of lack of gluten headaches and not gaining weight.
Yeah.
Which I would totally associate eating a Pop-Tart with like, it's over.
Like, that's it. I'm done for.
Oh no, 5 pounds. No,
Ruined.
It's not that bad. But just being like, oh, I'm going to feel terrible. It's not even worth it. Why bother? And the Lord's like, you just have to delight in the little things. Here is a season where you can indulge in these things.
Yeah.
And it'll be okay. And that in itself is kind of a success because it's moved me out of that mindset and into moderation. Because part of the problem is that we consume information and assume it leads to success. We consume the numbers. We even do it in business, right? Like we look at things and we're like, this is the thing that will make us successful.
Yeah.
But God is the thing that chooses the success level.
Right. And a lot of that, I think, is he knows your heart, and he's not going to give you, like, it would be really easy for him to give you a lot of success, but then you grow in pride.
100%.
Right? So, like, he's going to give you the amount of success based on where your heart is at and what your heart can handle.
And also your capacity for humility.
Right.
Because I think when you look at a lot of the saints, and you look at a lot of very holy, very successful people, you could probably look at Mother Teresa or John Paul II. They had this beautiful, natural from God, this gift of humility. And they allowed themselves to be pruned, to grow in that, to suffer in desolation and still clinging to God. And that is a success. If you are clinging to God and you're in a season of desolation, that's a huge success. That's a big deal because desolation is so difficult.
I needed to hear that. I've been in a season of desolation for a while.
Same. It's been I think it's wearing both of us down.
It really is.
It's still like, he didn't ask us to write the cycle of surrender in a time of consolation, did he?
No. Sure did not.
He prepared us in consolation
Sure
and then
did
allowed
not.
us to do it in desolation.
Yeah.
Because we would have to be fully reliant upon him for its success. I've hit a couple points writing where I'm like, I have nothing left. So if there's anything, it will be you, God. Because I have nothing.
Well, honestly, that's
Got
where I've
nothing
been
to
this
offer.
last week. It was like every time I sit down to look at it, I'm like, I don't know. Looks great. So, like, I've honestly, the last, 3 days, I mean, thank God, kind of, that I've had other things to work on, but, I'm sitting here, it's eating at me because I'm like, I know, I need to get in there and do something. But I'm like, I don't know where to go. I feel, I'm stuck this week. The last half of this week, I've just been stuck. So.
Again, he's showing us that, writing something that he's asking you to write or creating something he's asking you to create. doesn't automatically guarantee the perfect circumstances for it.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that you're headed for failure, that you shouldn't do it.
Right.
Because we're effectively at this point writing and creating under obedience. Because that's all we have.
We've had like this much inspiration.
And this much time. Because
Facts.
because he was like, I'm not telling you anything until after the Catholic Family Conference. Which, thank you to all of you who came out and saw us.
Yeah.
I know this is a very belated thank you, but you were a big part of that success. We followed what God asked, and we had someone prompt us to, like, just go for it and book the booth, and you all came together in community and helped us get there, because our teeny tiny baby business is really not strong enough to take on that kind of financial burden. But the gift you all gave us in talking with us, that was success in itself. To chat with you guys about your stories of surrender.
Seeing your heart and your vulnerability. And
100%. Very inspiring.
Sharing your heart and being vulnerable is successful, especially to strangers.
Oh, 100%.
Like, that is...
Yeah.
That vulnerability is being strong. And actually, you'll see that in the cycle.
Oh, yes, for sure. Vulnerability is, I mean, you see it a lot in the movies. You see it projected onto things. And they always, you know, the villain always sees vulnerability as a weakness. And the hero always sees vulnerability as a strength. I think that's a very common, like, good versus evil thing that you see, a common theme. And honestly, that's the reality. We villainize vulnerability because we think that it protects us. But actually, vulnerability is kind of what... Trust, willingness, and vulnerability are what leads to success.
Right.
Because you have to trust God's plan. Even when the picture looks great, and when the picture looks a little desolate. And you have to be willing to keep going, even when you don't want to.
Right.
But you know God's asking you to. And you have to be vulnerable, kind of what we're doing now. Because, you know, our plans for the cycle are not exactly what we pictured, but God's plan is greater. And we would much rather you have his outcome than ours.
Right.
Again, we'll talk about it more next year. If you skip this episode, don't, but you're going to like the next week one.
Is
you really shouldn't miss.
Don't miss next week.
Because there's a really cool story and testimony that comes with the cycle of surrender. And even getting to talk to you guys at the conference about the cycle of surrender was really cool, because the minute, it was amazing how many times we said, surrender is easy in theory, harder in practice, and bam, like, tears hit.
Yeah.
Because so many people were like, oh, it's so true, and this is what I'm going through.
The desire to surrender is there, but it's making it actionable is where we all get stuck and we just freeze.
Yes, which is, again, success in this, like, success as a Christian is heaven. And I think that's probably the hardest thing to swallow. Is that our successes here don't matter unless they're for heaven, right? Like, and I don't mean that for, like, after we die. I mean that our purpose is to live in a heavenly space, to operate, to bring heaven to earth, as the Our Father says. And so our success is based on how intimately we are bound with God, how much we are focused on doing his will, and then the fruits do the rest. In all seasons, good and bad, desolate, and I guess consolate is really not the word I'm looking for. Consolation, desolation. But wherever you're at, it just doesn't work the same way when you flip it.
It doesn't.
I know, consulate is like
not it.
That federal place where you go. It's a safe haven, like the U.S. consulate or whatever. Anyways, digressing a little bit. Really, when you're surrendering your success, it's like the same word. It's almost not oxymoronic. It's almost like a synonym. In order to be successful, you have to surrender.
Yep.
And surrender is successful, because that's what this life is about.
Success.
Surrender equals success. Boop, boop, boop.
Episode over. That's it. That's the long and short of it.
So, follow us next. Yeah, surrender equals success. And maybe that's why the Lord wanted us to wrap up this series with that specific subject. This specific subject. Because,
did we know that 2 months ago?
Oh, heck no.
No.
Yeah. We didn't know the outline of this episode till we started talking.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Which, actually, yeah, because we're still
20
recording.
minutes. I mean, we've been recording for 20, so.
We had no outline. There was no outline.
Nope.
Because
Actually, most of our episodes have no outline.
yeah, that's facts.
We just sit down and Jill starts talking, and I'm like, "Yup."
Haley has a lot more to add than that. You should leave her some love in the comments so she starts to recognize that she is a very valuable
I am the
member.
comedic relief.
No, you have wisdom to share. Anyways,
Every once in a while, you have a good nugget.
you have plenty of good nuggets, plenty of good aha moments.
Aha.
Yes, leave Haley some love in the comments because she needs some love, people.
Oh Lord.
And also, we want to know, Cycle of Surrender's coming. It's happening. You'll get all the details next time. But to help with the success of this, we do want to know from you in the comments, DM us, email us, hello@holysurrender.com, text us, whatever. Do you want this bound like a book or spiral bound? Because it's going to be a workbook.
Yes.
That much we can tell you. It's going to be a workbook. Lots of fun stuff in it. Stay tuned for the next episode. But help us to surrender this success by praying for us, praying with us, praying that God will multiply the time for us and our editors, that He'll relieve some of the exhausting spiritual warfare we've been under, because we too are coming to terms with the fact that surrender equals success, and in a beautiful bout of irony, we are having to surrender the cycle of surrender.
Yeah. It's a lot.
It's a lot. And
Tune
it's
in
okay.
next week to hear all the drama.
Yes, the drama and the spiritual warfare. But what we want you to really take away from this episode, other than our random stories, is that surrendering your success is about doing what God asks.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're genuinely trying to follow His will, even if you make mistakes, you're genuinely growing in discernment, you're genuinely trying to follow the Holy Spirit, then you are successful. And that's it. Surrender equals success. Success equals surrender. Like, it's interchangeable.
Synonymous.
Synonymous.
Is that the word you were
Perhaps
looking
the word
for?
I was looking for.
Synonymous.
Word salad over here.
It's fine. It's the
Two
end
brains
of the day.
are better than one. So that's it. We want you to know that wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, and maybe that's what makes this episode so hard to explain, is that wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, your success is not based on your performance, your skill set, anything like that. It is based on doing what God asks you to do next. Because whether He's teaching you a lesson or leading you down this like awesome epic breakthrough, it is success, because every time you listen to Him, you're building up that treasure in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what matters more than building up treasure here.
Yeah. Your success is also not measured by someone else's success.
These are facts. Again, you're a unique being.
You got your own yardstick.
God gives us each one. Some shorter.
It's
others.
not a yardstick. It's fine. Don't
Hey,
worry.
if time is relative, then perhaps measurements are relative.
Who am I to put God in a box?
Yeah, exactly. Yardsticks are most of my height, so. Yes, He gives
Oh,
you your
goodness.
measuring stick based off the mission He's asked you to do
Mm-hmm.
and where you're at on your spiritual journey. And that is the beauty of success, is that there's actually a lot of freedom in it.
Yeah.
Because your success is based on listening to God and not on your list of accomplishments.
Yeah.
That's what we know to end the episode, folks.
It's fine.
Follow us on social media at holy_surrender on Instagram, Holy Surrender on Facebook. Again, please jump on the email list. We do send out free work pages with every one of these episodes. We always leave the link in the description. You can just click on it, insert your email and your name, and click submit. It's just that easy. And also then on the 22nd or 23rd, whatever that Monday is, you will be getting a chunk of the Cycle of Surrender. We're only doing this once on that day. So you have about a week to get on our email list and make sure you're there for it. If you want to get a little sneak peek and know what we're putting together before you commit.
Yep.
But we will not do it again.
Right. We will be taking pre-orders, so if you see the email and you're like, yes, I already know I want it, great.
The pre-order button will be there.
If you want to test it out and read it first, that's cool too.
We understand.
Pretty awesome though. If I do say so myself. But
it has truly been, as a friend of mine put it, a labor of love.
it has. It really has been.
Because love is willing the good of the other. In this case, willing the good of the resource.
Oh, I was thinking them.
Yes,
You.
we're willing your good, the resource is good, each other's good, and so we
Yeah.
were just...
We just want everybody to be good. Please
We want
pray that
everybody
we get
to be
back
good.
to good.
Yes. Truly, your prayers make all the difference.
They
That's
really
part of our
do.
story next time.
Yeah.
So, stay tuned. Again, be sure you're on the email list. Find us on social media. You can probably just type in Holy Surrender anywhere and find us.
We're around.
Yeah, we're around. You'll find us. God will lead you to us wherever you're supposed to find us. And we'll catch you next time.
Bye.